Have you ever smiled while your entire world was falling apart? That was me that night. My wife insisted I join her for a business dinner with her German boss. She believed I only spoke English. They laughed, they whispered, then she gently touched her stomach and said something that changed my life forever. She thought I could not understand a single word. She was terribly wrong. What happened next left the entire restaurant completely silent. Stay until the end because the final sentence changes every life at that table forever. My name is Victor. I have been married for 6 years. My wife had recently started working for a large international company. She often talked about her German boss and how much he trusted her. At first I felt proud. She worked hard and deserved success. One evening she surprised me with an invitation to dinner. She said her boss wanted to meet the supportive husband she always talked about. I agreed without hesitation. I wore my best suit and arrived with a smile. The restaurant was elegant. Soft music played while candles flickered across the tables. Her boss greeted us warmly. He shook my hand and immediately started speaking English. My wife translated a few things even when translation was not necessary. I noticed she kept reminding him that I only spoke English. What neither of them knew was that my grandmother was German. I grew up speaking German at home before moving abroad. I simply never mentioned it because there had never been a reason. As dinner continued, they slowly switched into German. They assumed I was completely lost. I smiled politely while enjoying my meal. Inside, I listened to every single word. At first, they discussed work. Then the conversation became personal. My wife gently placed her hand on her stomach and quietly smiled. She whispered that everything was going according to plan. She said I was excited about the pregnancy and could not stop talking about becoming a father. She laughed and called me the happiest fool she had ever met. Then she looked directly at her boss and calmly said not to worry, because I would raise the child believing it was mine forever. My heart felt like it stopped beating. Her boss looked nervous for a moment, but then laughed. He thanked her for keeping everything under control. They even discussed possible baby names while I sat less than a feet away. I wanted to stand up and leave. I wanted to scream. Instead, I took a deep breath. I poured myself another glass of wine and remained perfectly calm. When the waiter returned, I thanked him in flawless German. Both of them froze. My wife slowly turned toward me. The color disappeared from her face. Her boss stared at me without saying a word. I smiled politely and switched completely into German. I said it was amazing how honest people become when they think no one understands them. Neither of them could even look at me. I continued speaking calmly. I thanked her boss for confirming everything I had quietly suspected over the past several months. I explained that I had already hired a private investigator. After noticing strange behavior and secret business trips that never appeared on company schedules, then I reached into my jacket and placed several photographs on the table. There were pictures of them entering hotels together, pictures from weekends she claimed were work conferences, even screenshots of messages my investigator had legally documented. The boss looked completely defeated. My wife started crying and begged me to listen. I simply shook my head. Then I revealed one final surprise. Earlier that afternoon, I had already met with my lawyer. The divorce papers were prepared before this dinner even started. The only thing missing was confirmation. They had just provided it themselves. I slid the envelope across the table. She opened it with trembling hands. She realized every financial account had already been protected according to legal advice. Every important document had been copied. Every valuable asset had been recorded. There was nothing left for her to manipulate. The boss quietly apologized. I looked him in the eyes and said that apologies mean very little after betrayal becomes a choice instead of a mistake. Without raising my voice, I stood up from the table. Before leaving, I wished them both good luck because trust once destroyed can never truly return. The restaurant remained completely silent as I walked away. Months later, the court finalized our divorce. A DNA test confirmed exactly what I already knew. The child was never mine. I rebuilt my life one day at a time. The greatest revenge was never anger. It was peace. Sometimes the loudest victory comes from staying calm, while the truth destroys every lie. Betrayal may break your heart, but honesty rebuilds your future. That dinner ended my marriage, but it also gave me my freedom. Looking back, I lost the people who never deserved my loyalty. In return, I found something far more valuable: self-respect. Sometimes the greatest victory is staying calm, while the truth destroys every lie. That dinner ended my marriage, but gave me my freedom. If I had reacted with anger, they would have blamed my emotions. Instead, they exposed themselves with their own words. Months later, I learned the child was never mine and every lie had finally collapsed. I lost the people who betrayed me, but gained something far more valuable: my self-respect. Never underestimate a quiet person because sometimes the one who says the least understands everything. The truth may take time, but it always wins in the end. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe for more powerful stories.